Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? Me, I am feeling somewhat graphically inspired. Why is that, you may ask? Because today's demo is all about Canva, which is the graphics creation tool for all of your different social channels. It's the tool I recommend the most for creating graphics for social channels. Things like Facebook and Pintrest and Instagram and, of course, YouTube cover art, that sort of stuff. Now, the reason that we're looking at Canva today is they now have something called Canva for Business, which steps up the game. Canva's always worked great as for an individual creating social media graphics. But now they're creating an environment that supports teams and your business as well. So I thought we should take a look at Canva for Business today on Dotto Tech. Now, Canva is the tool that I recommend most often when people need to create graphics to support their social media communications. For creating Facebook posts or Pinterest posts or Instagram posts or cover art for YouTube, Canva, other than Photoshop, is the tool that I would recommend most. And it's far easier to use than Photoshop, and it's free for the most part. Everything that we're going to show you until we get a little bit on in this demo is all done for free. Now, it uses templates to design all of the graphical elements that you might decide to create. And they base those templates on different social media delivery platforms. And basically, it's how they format in the size that they create the graphics in. So if you want to create a Pinterest graphic, they've got it the size. So these are all optimized for these different formats. And we'll just start out with a social media post because I want to create something square 800 by 800 because I'm playing with a whole new social media platform a little bit later today. I'm going to go and I'm going to do my first Blab broadcast. Have you heard of Blob? Oh, sorry, Blab broadcast. Blab it's kind of like Periscope on steroids. Or kind of almost like a Google Hangout. You basically do video. You stream video. And you bring people on, and you can have up to 4 people talking at a time. And here, our friend Vincent Ng, actually a good Vancouverite, he lives not too far from me. He's now teaching, 22 people are watching him talking about Pinterest. And let's just pop in and have a quick look. I know this isn't about, just pop in, shh, don't tell them that we're here.
Different, and I'm going to go kind of a little bit on topic and a little bit off topic in terms of design. So something that I actually discovered, which was really interesting, because we talk about driving traffic back to your site. Tina's talking about using the right font, and just
isn't that cool? We'll pop out, but that is it's a new social media platform, a delivery platform. But you notice it's a square format. So I'm going to create some supporting graphics for my first foray into that space later today. So I've chosen the square graphic layouts, and as you scroll through, you see there are literally hundreds. I'm sure there are hundreds. I'm not positive, but there are hundreds of design ideas that you can kind of riff off of. You can take a look and you can choose one, and then you can work with it. So I do all kind of tech stuff. So let's choose this monthly hackathon graphic. And when we click on it, it's brought up with the proper background art, some suggested fonts in the foreground, and all of that kind of stuff. So we can actually go in and I can just change this if I want to say Dotto Tech. And you see how it automatically formats into the font and color that they've chosen for us. I can highlight it all. I can change the size. It's a really big font right now. I can make it a little bit smaller. Let's make it, let's say 100, and that might fit better. And yep, Dotto Tech, and we'll call it a Blab. Dotto Tech Blab. And then I can put in the date, I can put in the time, I can incorporate and add some graphics. Now they've got additional features here in this browser, which allows us to find not just other full templates, but graphics to support. Like here, if I click in the search, we see we have grids, we have frames, we have shapes, we have icons, illustrations, and photos, other things that we can incorporate into this graphic as we create it. Now, the revenue model for Canva has been up to now buying premium graphics to support this sort of thing. So paying $1 for a photo or for a graphic that we might want to include in our design. And that's worked pretty well for them, I believe. We'll be talking a little bit more, they've got more of a membership model coming online now. But even having said all of that, you'll still find tons of You'll still find tons of free graphics available to you, and you can search for graphics based on themes. So I wanted this to be kind of video-ish, so I'm going to type in YouTube and look what comes up. Like all of these different graphics, and they're Branded is free, so I wouldn't have to pay for any of these. To incorporate it, I just pull it out and see how easy this is. I might want to just kind of use this as a pointer, pointing at the time or the date. And we'll point it right there. Nah, it doesn't look as good as there. We'll put it up there, and I'm going to say 10 p.m. Or, no, what's the time? It's 4 p.m. PDT. So people know what time this event is. And of course, I'd go through and I would edit the rest of the video or the rest of the graphic to make it all work for me. But that is how easy it is to create the basic graphic. That alone is awesome. But what you're about to see is almost mind-blowing. This is a new feature that they've incorporated, because let's say that I'm going to use this graphic and I might be using this in Instagram, or I might be using this as a slate in some as cover art for the actual event. But I might want to use this same graphical element and post it into Pinterest or post it onto Facebook. Watch what they've added here. If we go onto the file menu, we have something called Magic Resize. If I choose that, what they're going to do is they're going to go and they're going to reformat this graphic for all of these different, I'll add Facebook posts there, for all of these different social channels. I click abracadabra, and look what happens. New tabs open up all the way across the top of my browser, and each of those tabs has this graphic reformatted for that social channel, and they label them. So there is our Twitter post. There is our Instagram post. I'm going to give it a second for it to all resolve. It takes a second. Square for Instagram, oblong for Twitter. How's it going to look for Pinterest? There's the same one for Pinterest. Now you might want to go in and you might want to tweak it. We can still adjust the graphics slightly because things might not resolve perfectly. There it is for Facebook. And there it is in the square format, which is the one that we used to start things off as well. Isn't that spectacular? What a great way to maximize the use of graphics and minimize the amount of time you spend creating something. You'll get a handle on using this very quickly, and it really ups the game as far as Canva is concerned. I really like that feature. Now, the other feature that they've added to Canva is more of a revenue side feature, and that is Canva for Business, your brand section. So if I click here on your brand, that brings me into a new section that we haven't had previously in Canva, and it allows us to create our own templates that we save for our own team. And this is the heart of it, though. It's called the kit. This is where we can import all of the different graphics and styles that are germane to our business. So I can import my graphics, the colors that I use for my logos and other things. I can choose the fonts that I want to use in all of my social posts. And then anybody on my team, when they go about and they start creating posts, they can be working within the parameters that the designers want for my graphics. So this is awesome. I mean, we've all gone through, or anybody that's been on a team has gone through the point of, hey, can you send me the logo? And then you get sent the logo and it's the old logo and it's the wrong, no, I needed the black and white logo. And so you're going back and forth and you waste a lot of cycles just getting all of the different assets in place. And then you probably aren't following standards for fonts and other things if you're creating graphics yourself for your team environment for whatever venture you're on. This way, it's one person or your graphics design department can standardize the look and the appearance of all graphics coming out and still give the people who are posting and engaging in the community the flexibility and freedom to be able to create those graphics. And that's the magic, is it's not about controlling and stopping people from doing things, but it's designed to give people who should be doing things the tools they need to do them properly without messing up. That is what the branding section is all about. And of course, your graphics department can create templates for all of your different graphical elements as well that people can work within. So this is a really nice way for that distributed team to gain access to all of the different assets that they might need in order to do their job better. It does not come free. Oh, no, no, no. They've set it up at the initial launch. It's if you pay annually, it's $10 a month, and if you pay monthly, it's $13 a month per individual team member. So it's not cheap. But if you do belong to a social media team and you're posting a lot, this gives you the ability to create standardization for all of the different graphical elements going out. For more information, you can drop by canva.com and have a look. This is rolling out as we speak, so it's something that you can gain access to right away. I hope you found today's video to be enlightening and useful. Now remember, there are 3 ways to stay in touch with us here on Dotto Tech. The first is please subscribe to this channel. Second, subscribe to our newsletter and you'll learn about our upcoming live events, like my upcoming blab today. I emailed that out to our whole list, so maybe some of you have already participated in the blab by the time you see this video. And finally, Dotto Tech is a community-funded channel. We're supported by you, our viewers, through the crowdfunding site Patreon. I encourage you to drop by, take a look, and learn about the perks that are included in supporting Dotto Tech. They are awesome, as are you. Till next time, I am Steve Dotto. Have fun storming the castle.